This is Viewpoint.
Welcome to Viewpoint. I'm Doug Petcash. According to the 2020 U.S. Census, Black and African American people make up about 1.5% of Idaho's population. That closely reflects the Black and African American student population at the University of Idaho in Moscow. According to the university, the population there stands at 1.2%. The university is taking steps to recruit and retain Black and African American students and create a welcoming, supportive environment for them. That includes the creation of the Black and African American Cultural Center in 2022. The BAACC says its mission is to provide those students with resources that will guarantee a smoother transition to the university, create a sense of belonging there and in their new communities, and create awareness of their unique and beautiful African culture. I'll talk with the first ever director of the center coming up in just a few minutes. Also, a new book just came out coinciding with Black History Month, which is February. Brody Gasper and Dr. Sidney Freeman Jr. wrote the book Seminal History and Prospective Futures of Blacks at the University of Idaho. Last year, Freeman became the U of I's first African-American full professor. As News Channel 7's Brenda Rodriguez shows us, he now wants to make sure future generations of Vandals learn the history of their campus.
For well over a century, Black Vandal students, faculty, staff, and administrators have enriched our campus and the broader Idaho community.
Now the University of Idaho is making sure future generations have access to the school's Black history through a new book.
So the book focuses in on the past, present, and even the future of Blacks at the University of Idaho. The idea is to inspire those here within the state.
Professor Sidney Freeman Jr. says U of I's Black community is growing, and the book Seminal History and Prospective Future of Blacks at the University of Idaho reflects that.
From a faculty and staff standpoint, we have probably a little less than 20 that are here, and I know that we have around 100 Black students. We cannot tell our story, our full and honest story, without including the story of Black folks and their contribution to this state and to our university.
A story that starts back in the 1890s.
Jenny Eva Hughes graduated in the first graduating class here at the University of Idaho. So, and that's in the late 1890s.
And football legend
Ray McDonald, one of the most prominent football players coming out of the University of Idaho. He had not been honored on campus, but it was out of our work and partnership with the athletics department that late last year we actually got his number retired in the rafters.
Aside from all the Black trailblazers at the university, the book also features the movements that made a huge impact on today's courses.
Students led in the creation of a Black history course that now leads to what we now have as the Africana Studies program, our Black Student Union that started in the early 70s and now has been reinvigorated now, and the Black Cultural Center.
Freeman says this book is a start to understanding and learning how to create a safe space for U of I's Black community.
Sometimes there is this assumption that we can just bring Black students in, but there's no investment, a strategic and intentional investment in diversifying the senior level administration or mid-level administration and faculty and staff.
The book is now available on the university's website.
This has been a wonderful journey, and I look forward to continuing to highlight the work of Blacks at the University of Idaho and the state more broadly.
Dr. Freeman says a lot of firsts are still happening at the university, so he hopes to continue the book with ongoing history. Again, the book is available on the University of Idaho's website. So we've looked a little at Black history at the U of I. Now let's talk about the present and future. As I mentioned earlier, the university created the Black and African American Cultural Center just a year ago. The center's first ever director, Mario Pyle, joins me now via Zoom from Moscow. Good morning and welcome, Mario.
Good morning, Doug. Thank you for having me on today.
Oh, you're so welcome. First of all, what do you think it says that the university took the step to create the Black and African American Cultural Center?
I think it's a sounding board for the state that despite whatever may be perceived, it's a great step. It shows that hey, this is an intentional investment in the students that we truly value by having a space and a director here. So it's a great first step.
And why was it necessary, in your opinion?
Because unfortunately, we live in a space where we struggle to center voices, especially Black voices. And I think what makes this so important as we talk about it right now is everyone wants to feel valued and seen and heard. And I think this university has taken that step to let the students who are currently here, hey, we do see you, we do hear you, and we want to give you a space that isn't just for you per se, but it's centered for you, and then others can come and be a part of it as you feel seen and heard.
So what is the mission of the center?
The mission, great question, is sort of threefold. First and foremost, I think the most important piece is retaining the students. And by retaining, really, I believe it's more of something you said, a sense of belonging, giving students an opportunity to feel seen, heard, and valued, and that their experiences actually matter and that we're actually doing something to make sure their experiences are as best as possible in being here. And then in addition to retaining those students till graduation, we also want to recruit students, and we want them to come here, not just to fill numbers, because that's very misleading and that's very checkbox. We want students to come and get a piece of U of I, which is one of the best values in the nation in getting a higher education. And I think all students deserve that opportunity to have that education. And then thirdly, we want to educate and empower those students here, whether Black or non-Black, to come into this space and to be able to explore, for my Black and African American students, explore what their Blackness is for them, and for others to understand and to see what the Black community is all about.
And I realize that this is new and it is centered towards the Black and African American students, but in that first year, are you seeing a variety of students coming in to maybe learn more about the culture or just to touch base with you and your staff?
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the most beautiful pieces. I mean, I love seeing our students come in here and eat lunch, study, or just most importantly, just seeing them laugh and get to know one another in this space. I see students, I'm very thankful we're right across the way from ASUI, and I've been able to build a relationship with the president there. And he comes over from time to time, and we get to see students who are white, students who are of Asian descent, and students who are Latinx. And it's beautiful to see truly all students of all walks of life come into this space and use it and find a place that they feel comfortable in, because that's a really hard dynamic. And so it's been beautiful in this first year seeing the increase of Black students, but it's been even more, just as beautiful seeing other students come and use this space as well.
You mentioned the increase. 1.2% of the population there, according to the university, is Black or African American. Are you starting to see already some payoff in the word getting out about what the university is doing?
Absolutely, Doug. And one of the very tangible ways that I've seen it is, so we have the Black Student Union here that Dr. Sidney Freeman talks about in his book. And when I first got here, there was about 6 to 7 members who were really active. And because of this space and having a central location to hold their meetings, I would say that every meeting there's at least 20 students who show up, and that number is continually growing as events continue to happen on campus. And I think this next year is going to even more, and that is a great problem to have. So yes, just having that space gives students that feeling, oh, wow, this is serious. And so they come to the meetings.
And we have some pictures actually we can show just how large the group is right now. And you mentioned it formed in the 70s. What is the Black Student Union today?
The Black Student Union is a student organization, just like any other organization, run by the students, organized and empowered through the students' own voice. And they come together and they talk about issues that are going on campus. They plan events that are fun, some serious, some collaborative. And so it's just a great group of young students who have a desire to learn, to build community, and to thrive and grow. And the Black Student Union is all those students that just warm my heart and give me purpose to be here.
Yeah, invested in each other and in the university's future as well. And you're an advisor to the Black Student Union. It is a student-run organization, as you mentioned.
Yes.
So what do you feel you represent to those students?
I think the biggest identity that I feel for them is, one, advocacy. Feeling like there's someone within the space of leadership who speaks on their behalf to leadership here on campus and can contextualize some of their struggles in ways that maybe opens up conversation to change policies, to look at things differently. And then I think even just as important is this dynamic of being heard. And as an advisor, not that I'm a counselor, but just being able to hear them and not try to problem solve. So I represent advocacy and just shoulder and ear for these students to share their lives with me.
Yeah, a mentor, a friend, an ear, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, the university also has the Black History Research Lab. What is that?
So that's Dr. Sidney Freeman Jr., as Brenda interviewed him. He's the one that created that. And I mean, he's the one that helped push the initiative of me being here and the center being here. And the research lab just takes and archives all of the history that has happened, that Blacks have contributed to this university in tremendous ways. And beyond the campus. And what we hope to do is to continue to archive what's happening now. And that's what's so beautiful about the research lab is it's not just the past, it's ways that we can contextualize and gather the stories of what's happening right now. And we cannot wait till, stories lose the truth of them and become, these grandeur stories. We can really capture with pictures and stories the students that are happening right now. And so collaborating with him to bring those stories to reality and then to archive them and hold them in this space of the Black Research Lab, it has been tremendous for the students. It adds a purpose to everyone's lives.
As we say, yesterday is already history. So capturing all of that stuff, and I guess people can add to that history. It's not just the folks at the lab who are gathering this stuff.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, I would love for any Black alum who happens to watch this interview, and I really hope a lot of people get a chance to tap into this, who've come from UI and add their stories. We're waiting and we're wanting to listen and hear and archive those stories. So the U of I has been here before the state existed. So I think it's an opportunity for everybody to really tap in and to build this community on a whole nother level.
And it's pretty easy to find the information, too, on the university's website. A simple search online, and it'll take you right to it.
Absolutely. And same for my center. All of our information is available to anyone. And anyone can take a look, and anyone can email us at any time with questions or thoughts that they would love to share and add to the story.
Well, we're going to take a quick break right now, and when we come back, we'll get Mario Pyle's take on the importance of Black History Month and the challenges and opportunities facing the Black community in Idaho and at the U of I. We'll be right back.
At California Closets, every project is personalized, custom designed, and installed by true craftsmen. That's the California Closets difference. We call it practical magic. Get started with a free design consultation.
It's your journey. Own every mile in an available H-Track all-wheel drive Hyundai SUV.
Get 0% APR on the 2023 Tucson or Santa Fe, or up to $750 bonus cash. See your Bronco Motors Hyundai dealer.
Buy more, save more during the fantastic 4-day sale at Furniture Row. That's 4 fantastic days to save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. With the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed, it's the perfect time to design a new living room, dining room, bedroom, or fall into a new mattress. And check out doorbusters while they last. Plus, get 6 years no interest financing. But don't wait. The fantastic 4-day sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
Save thousands on the new revolutionary swim spa at a one-time sale. Final day. Expo Idaho, Boise. Exercise with low impact. Swim the entire year and stay in shape. Teach your kids to swim. Unwind and save thousands. Avoid the expense and maintenance involved with a pool. Swim, exercise, and relax in your new aquatic exercise swim spa. Installation and 1 day only. New 2023 inventory. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Expo Idaho, Boise. Free admission. Free parking. Call 1-888-SPA-SALE.
Is your credit score getting in the way of things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit help you borrow up to $10,000. So check your eligibility on netcredit.com today without affecting your credit score. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
And welcome back to Viewpoint. I'm Doug Petcash. Today we've been focusing on the past, present, and future of the Black community at the University of Idaho. My guest today is Mario Pyle, the director of the Black and African American Cultural Center at the U of I. February is Black History Month. Mario, how important is the month, and what do you hope people get out of it?
First, Doug, I think the most important thing for people to understand about Black History Month is Black history is American history. And it's not learning a separate country's people, customs, and ways. It's rooted, embedded in the fabric of America. And I think it's an opportunity to celebrate those who have been oppressed, enslaved, and in all different kinds of oppressions that have held them down and have risen through those oppressions to do some remarkable and amazing and contribute to this country. And I think that's the most important. And I think Black history isn't just for Black people to learn. I think all people should be learning about all the different people who have contributed to this nation and should feel proud and honored that someone with more melanin has done something shouldn't separate us in knowing that should be for everyone to learn.
So how can people of different races, in your opinion, gain a better understanding of each other?
I think there's some simple ways, and it starts with listening. And I think just even in general as a nation, we sometimes struggle to listen and to hear each other. And I think by listening, it can start with documentaries. It can start with podcasts. There's so many different books out there for people to read. And I think it just simply starts there. Even children books written by Black authors with Black characters. I would love to see even white families reading those type of books to their children. And I think it just simply starts by taking time to learn and know that knowledge isn't just limited to the classroom, that we should all be learning as much as we possibly can, even outside of the classroom.
You know, we've seen a lot of incidents, of course, that have gained national attention over the years that are race related. Do you believe in the concept of the quote unquote difficult conversation?
Doug, that's an really amazing question, and one that we here, at least in the center, try to talk about. And it's difficult because no one wants to talk about it. And sometimes people use terms like a courageous conversation, and we can use whatever term is fitting for the situation. But I think the conversation just simply has to be had. And it's only difficult because we keep trying to sweep things under the rug versus taking time to have the conversation and hear each other out and see where we're coming from and understand that we might not be coming from the place that we perceive someone is coming from. And then if we just take that time to say, hey, I'm going to sit here, even if it's difficult, and hear you out, even if it calls me on the carpet, if this makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm going to sit in my uncomfortableness and see how we can move forward. And I think by doing things like that, those difficult conversations, yes, may be difficult, but we won't have to define them by such terminology.
Conversations start with listening, don't they? Well, as
Yes,
I mentioned
sir.
earlier, Mario, the Black population of the state of Idaho is about 1.5%. At the University of Idaho, it's about 1.2%. That being said, first of all, what do you think are the biggest, I guess, opportunities for Black and African American people in Idaho and at the university?
Yes. There's opportunities because despite us being 2023, there's so many opportunities for people to break through barriers and to see some challenges, see obstacles as challenges, and to find themselves in spaces that maybe we were not in before. And I think if we take that as an opportunity versus seeing them only as barriers and recognize there are barriers and not beat around the bush and not hide and redefine things, but to be honest about the challenges in this state and to say if all people are welcome, then let's actually put that to the test and give Black students opportunities. And it does start, as Dr. Freeman says, seeing Black people in leadership positions across the board, whether it's business, higher ed, in the news, all the different spheres. Are we seeing Black people having opportunities to showcase their own skills and talents and that what they love about this state?
And, you know, with the population of Black and African Americans in Idaho being so small, is one of the biggest challenges simply not having a loud voice because of the small numbers?
Yeah, that is definitely one of the challenges, and people within the Black community, I mean, that's why it's not a monolith. There's many different expressions and thoughts and ideologies and thoughts that are within the Black community and the culture, and not having a space to go, and that there's those who are trying to build a community, and some, you know, there's a wrestle of, you know, if we all show face, what does that mean if we all show up? What are the consequences? And I think this is where I would love for my white brothers and sisters to stand up and to say, hey, we want to be here to help you have that safe space and whatever that looks like. And I think being so small, it's going to take more than just the Black community for the Black community to succeed and thrive here in Idaho.
And do you feel that the U of I will continue to build on what it has started?
I do believe, and I think as the students grow, the space will need to grow, and we'll need to find ways to serve students outside of the context of the classroom, whether that's having restaurants that have different types of food that my African students might enjoy. And so there's just opportunity to grow. And as students come here, those opportunities will be discussed. And hopefully we take that discussion and put some tangible steps in place for all students to feel welcome.
We're going to take another quick break. And then when we come back, I'll wrap up the conversation with Mario Pyle. Stay tuned.
Dear 2030, we look forward to seeing you. After our 160-point quality assurance inspection, we'll be Toyota certified used vehicles with 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranties. Not to honk our own horns, but the best new cars make the best used cars. Yours, Toyota.
Get 4.99% APR for up to 60 months on a Toyota certified used Camry, Corolla, or RAV4. Find yours at toyotacertified.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Has your cable TV lost its spark? Do you suffer from the buffer? You deserve reliable TV without the hassle and the frustration. A+ Satellite is your premier local dish retailer, serving the Treasure Valley with reliable TV and real customer service for over 15 years. If you have Sparklight TV, switching to dish with A+ Satellite could save you over $700 a year. Stop in for a face-to-face with A+ Satellite at Fairview and Eagle, behind Krispy Kreme.
Hot tubs, hot tub, hot tub. Major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2023 inventory. Final day. Expo Idaho, Boise. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. New 2023 inventory. Hot tubs starting at $29.95. All inventory 40 to 80% off. Come see the revolutionary swim spa in action and save up to 60%. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Worry-free installation. 18-month interest-free financing. Millions of dollars of inventory must be sold. Expo Idaho, Boise. Free admission. Free parking. Call 1-888-SPA-SALE.
No matter what, all I do is win. Everybody hands go up. All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind.
A couple more minutes now with University of Idaho Black and African American Cultural Center Director Mario Pyle. And Mario, you started at the U of I in January of 2022, but before that, you were here in Boise at Boise State. What did you do here?
So I started off at Boise State as an assistant development director, and then I spent a year as the project director of Veterans Upward Bound, which I'm a veteran myself, helping veterans who were interested in college and getting them connected with mentors or tutors to help them in subjects like math, science, and in English so that they would be prepared and ready to take the venture into college.
And, you just retired after 20 years with the Air Force and the Idaho Air National Guard. So first of all, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
You served at Mountain Home Air Force Base. So what about the military appealed to you, and how do you use that to translate into what you do now?
Yes, great question. I would say my father serving 20 years in the Air Force was somewhat of a catalyst to me joining, and not to make this super somber, but one of my cousins on my father's side was in one of the Twin Towers that went down, and just wanting to honor my dad and honor my family, I felt compelled to join, and through my military time, I got a sense of confidence in myself, and I wanted to see that same confidence in my own community, and so I want to provide the confidence that I gained through the military to students and to my friends who may be lacking and maybe struggling with seeing themselves as fully human because of all the different adversities they face. And I would say my military time is what really gave me the ability to and the time to have this confidence that I have today.
And speaking of confidence, I would imagine you had to have some of that to grow up in a household with 9 brothers and sisters. So how did that help form who you are today, too?
Let's say it kept me very humble. And I mean, I have a beautiful and wonderful family. I have 7 sisters and 2 brothers that I think the world of. And between my mom and dad, it's just reinforced the morals and values of treating people with decency and human respect, and also being proud of who you are. Even if you look different, and being able to walk tall, but also smile, and not just smile for the sake of smiling, but using it as an internal motivation. So my family has taught me the value of higher education, just being a person who shows up for others.
Mario Pyle, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Doug. And this stuff like this, Doug, I appreciate it. I hope others see the work you're doing and helping out and get the word out about Black History Month.
Have a great day. And that's all of our time for this week's Viewpoint. See you next Sunday.